Episode 1: Why Most People Fear Finance and How to Make It Your Friend. Most people think money talk is boring, but what if I told you it's actually the key to freedom, not fear? Welcome to Money Made Simple, the podcast where we turn confusing finance terms into everyday stories. I'm your host, KayJay, and if you've ever looked at your bank app and felt that tiny panic, where did all my money go, then you're in the right place. In this first episode, we're talking about why so many of us fear finance. Not because we're lazy or bad with money, but because nobody really taught us how to understand it. We'll unpack that fear, break down how to think about money differently, and I'll share 3 mindset shifts that help me stop avoiding finance and start feeling confident with it. So grab your chai or coffee and let's dive in. Money anxiety is learned, not natural. We weren't born afraid of money. We learned to be. Think back to childhood, when parents argued about bills, or when we heard phrases like money doesn't grow on trees. Those moments shaped how we see finance, as stressful, complicated, and full of risk. Here's a story. A friend once told me she ignored her credit card bill for months because opening the email made her heart race. When she finally looked at it, it wasn't as bad as she thought. The fear of looking was actually worse than the numbers. That's what most of us feel. But when you realize money is just information, not judgment, you start to gain control. Finance isn't about math, it's about behavior. People often say, I'm bad with numbers, so I'll never understand money. Truth. You don't need calculus, you need habits, saving, investing, budgeting. These are 80% emotion, 20% numbers. Let me give you an example. 2 people earn the same salary. One spends emotionally, one spends intentionally. Guess who builds wealth? Not the one with a calculator, the one with a plan. Small wins like tracking expenses once a week or setting an automatic SIP can do more than any spreadsheet. Because you're training your brain to see finance as routine, not reaction. The secret: make money talk a part of your week. You know how some people do Sunday meal prep? Try a money 10 minutes each Sunday just to look at your money. No big goals, just awareness. When I started doing this, I realized I wasn't bad with money. I was just disconnected from it. That small ritual built confidence. Finance stopped feeling like an exam and started feeling like a friendship. The more time you spend understanding your money, the less it can surprise you. Now let's recap. So, we've learned that money anxiety is learned, not natural. Finance is more about your habits than your math skills. And spending just 10 mindful minutes a week can change everything. You don't need to master markets overnight. Just start treating your money like a conversation, not a confrontation. If this episode made finance feel a little lighter, hit follow new episodes every week. Short, simple, and packed with clarity. Share this with a friend who says, I'm just not good with money. Let's change that together.